Welcome to the USP Top 14, where things make marginally more sense until next week, when having three good teams on a bye is going to ruin everything again. I'm K-Main, uh, resident stockholder somehow, and I am joined by a team in the NFC North that isn't number one in the power rankings this week. Fan.
That he's really funny, guys. He has a great personality once you get to know him. I promise he's not just a shitter.
It's what we do here as both Kings of the North and Kings of the NFC until Sunday, probably. Shall we?
Yeah, let's take a look at these fuck ass teams.
Yeah. So we have a grand total of 20 teams this week, and 6 of them maybe didn't deserve to be on there.
Fucking, are you fucking kidding me? You're fucking kidding me. Only single digit votes this go around.
They're small. I can
Yeah, I know.
here. Yeah, actually, well, it's
That is
considerably
insanely sad.
well. This week is considerably less screwy than last week. We're finally starting to cut through it. So, um,
Yeah.
yep. J.C. Horn may single-handedly be responsible for putting the Panthers in the power rankings. Because they didn't give the ball to Rico Dowdle for some reason.
Here's the thing. Bryce Young is still not that good.
He's him. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's in shambles.
No, that would be
man.
he's him shambles. And it's a high ankle sprain, so he's week to week. On the bright side, they're playing against a team with what we call the Miami Dolphins strength of victory stats, so there's options there, especially with Rico Dowdle primed to potentially break the single game rushing record. God, wouldn't that be funny?
Andy Dalton's gonna be starting games again in 2025. Does does he just like it in Carolina? Like, why does he stay there? Like, I get the backup gig is nice, but like, why don't you go to a Niners or like a Seattle? Like, enjoy yourself.
If you're the backup on the I'm gonna dispute you for the backup on the Niners. That's a starting job right now. You know that.
Well, yeah, but obviously in your head it's like, well, actually, if you think about it, you get to be in San Francisco and not Charlotte.
Yeah, but the backup QB salary does pay for a studio instead of a cardboard box. I'll give you that. The city's so expensive.
Also, too, the Texans got 2 votes, which means I'm gonna find
the Texans got 2 points. They got 1 vote, if I remember correctly.
Well, they got 2 points. Whoever voted for the Texans, we're going to be taking them out back, and we're going to be doing them what Jude McNamara, or whatever the fuck his name is, got done by the Giants.
Sure. The Falcons are lower on the list this week. I think they might have also only gotten 1 vote, if I'm being completely honest. People have faith in the Jaguars for some reason. And the Steelers got the true Aaron Rodgers experience, where Aaron Rodgers balled out and clutched up in the final few minutes of the game, despite setbacks, and then he got to watch his defense piss the game away. You know,
gotta love it.
It was so magical to watch that happen to him in another uniform. I really wish he had made that Hail Mary, though. I wanted that to happen so bad, man.
Look, man, Joe Flacco doesn't have much going for him right now. You're really gonna take that away from him?
Eh, well, he didn't get to play against the Packers this week, so yes. 14, Cowboys. Gosh.
I get it. I 100% get it. It's not an insanely bad choice. Like legitimately, the Cowboys are a lot better than the what 6 teams we've talked about. Granted, they lost to the Panthers, but if they have Micah Parsons, they are definitely better than them. And like,
Well, yeah, seeing as Micah Parsons is a run defender, uh, yep, that would help.
like I get the logic behind Dallas, and I still think Dallas is a good team. The issue with them right now, currently, is just they can't cover anything.
They're the ninth
But
best
like,
team in the NFC.
I'm ninth. I don't know about ninth. Because the thing is with the NFC, I
Record-wise,
actually,
I think they're like ninth.
Oh no, Panthers are better. They're 10th in the NFC.
Oh, no.
But I definitely think Dallas is better than the Panthers right now. Definitely better than the Falcons. Commanders, Cardinals, Giants, definitely. Don't think they're better than Chicago. I think they're the inverse of the Vikings, where they have a phenomenal offense, but that defense can't do shit. I feel like they just have the opposite problem, but for the Cowboys.
Yeah, well, they got CeeDee Lamb back this week, so instead of being a true number one wide receiver, we can go back to having George Pickens be very funny. Hopefully.
Oh, oh god, I just looked at Dallas's opponent this week, and then I realized they're probably fucking ranked up here. And I'm going to go into a fucking rant about them whenever that happens. But
What are they playing?
on it, we'll get to them when they get to them. I won't mention it now, just because for surprises. But I will say this: I think Dallas is definitely going in the right direction. That
Yep.
being said, they are.
Oh, right.
Fuck, that's
Yeah.
the goddamn team. Fucking hell. Okay, I'm gonna
Right,
say
yeah,
this
yeah,
right
no,
now.
I remember. I was gonna talk to my coworker about this, and then I got busy.
Yeah, this team's a fucking fraud house, dude. They are terrible. I do not care that they scored 33 points in one inning. I mean, one inning, good one, Bears fan. I do not care that they scored 33 points in one quarter. You cannot tell me that this team is quote unquote good.
They're a team. I mean, yeah, I don't really know what to make of the Broncos. Other than giving us quite possibly the funniest game, sorry, the second funniest game of the NFL season this year. Cause I don't know. Going aside from the power rankings for the bit and like dwelling back on the Cowboys, I think funniest game this year goes to Packers Cowboys.
Yeah, I think this is a close second though.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I was like, this is the funniest, and then I'm like, oh, we got a tie, and even as a Packers fan, I'm just like, yeah, no, it's objectively pretty hilarious, even when we really should have lost that game if it weren't for the ball bouncing in genuinely about the best way it could.
Yeah. Also, too, the thing is too, the Giants realistically should have won that game. If they have a kicker, they win that game. But honestly, I knew this game was fucked as soon as Jackson Dart threw one of the worst interceptions I think I have ever seen watching football. Like I don't get how you even justify throwing that.
Yeah, he's new. Give him a little time. He, the Giants are in a get right and probably fire their coach here. Like, Dable's gone after this week. I think he could probably go 11-5 or what 12-5, beat the Vikings in the wild card round, lose in the divisional, and they'd probably still fire him.
No, they're gonna beat the Eagles. They're gonna ride out with them for the rest of the year, so that way Doug's not
No,
having to.
no, they ride out with him for the rest of the year. But he does get fired at the end of this year. The
Agreed.
the only coach I hope gets fired mid-season for the rest of the year, other than I guess insert coaches from the NFC North here, would be Mike McDaniel, and that's because I genuinely think it would be good for his health.
Uh, Off topic a bit, but speaking of the Giants, did you look at their next six opponents?
The Packers are one of those games, aren't they?
It is at Philly
Yeah.
against San Francisco, at Chicago again, at versus Green Bay, at Detroit, and then at New England.
Yeah,
This team,
go. Um,
that team is so going 2-11.
I think they could go like 4-9.
Who-
Their offense has
Okay,
had
Bears,
flashes.
okay, Bears. Okay, maybe I get that, but who the hell else would they be?
They win this week,
Because you're,
obviously.
yeah, I guess. Fucking sure.
Yeah. 12.
Yep.
I can't tell you how much this hurt me.
Well,
It
27. It is close as shit. Okay, I'm going to assume there's going to be a bunch of like worst teams at 20 with these votes.
it's kind of spread out this week.
I will say this: the Bears are good. I think a lot of people are really looking at Caleb and like, oh well, Caleb isn't doing this or Caleb isn't doing that. Like even the most devout hater will sit here and say, God, Ben Johnson is a really good coach. I fucking hate him. This is where you go ahead and say that.
He can go be oral coordinator for the Jaguars. He can replace Shane Waldron in like a swamp. I think you guys would
Nope.
appreciate him back in the organization. He knew how to build a culture.
Nope. I'm good. But I mean, the Bears had a solid win against the Saints. Caleb had a whatever game, but he did the things that he needed to do and won in the end. And you know what? That's all that matters. Chicago's run game is finally starting to get going too, and we saw what happens when Ben Johnson gets his running backs going. It is very hard to stop his running game. Passing game, you can have a couple of Jared Goff goofs in them, but it doesn't really matter if your running backs are averaging over 225 yards.
Yeah. Honestly, I hope they go back to sucking. My dose of copium for this week is this time last year the Bears were also 4-2, and we thought that the NFC North was a bunch of world beaters. Um,
Yeah, but those
and
Bears were on a 3-game winning streak. This group of Bears is on a 4-game winning streak.
yes, they also didn't get the privilege of playing the Jaguars in London. The 2024 Doug Peterson, I'm not saying whose fault it is, uh, press conference, man. Yeah, I dislike the Bears being even the third best team in the NFC North, if I'm being completely honest.
Like in a you don't like the take or you don't like the fact that that's true.
It makes me physically repulsed. So yeah, I mean the Vikings just kind of don't have it this year. It looks like.
They don't have the quarterback. They have everything else. They don't have the quarterback.
Yeah, it's possible letting Sam Darnold walk was a bad idea. Which is a sentence I really didn't expect to say at the start of this year. Like, I didn't have any belief in Darnold. I thought we were getting weeks like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 Darnold. But, nope.
I will just say this to finish off Chicago. The main reason why they are good is because the defense has been sneaky good. and which is funny because they gave up some of the most amount of points this season. But you want to know what's been the main thing as to why they've been good?
Turnovers?
Uh, yep, they lead the NFL in turnovers per game with 2.67, 6.7, whatever. They
Well, that's
find
all the
ways to
time
turn the
we have,
ball over.
folks. Well, at least for number 12. 11, the Bills. Yeah,
Okay, I played
when we
some.
say most AFC teams over 500, we mean pretty specifically the Bills. Uh, and also like the rest of them. It's pretty much meant to say anyone over 500 that um isn't the Colts and also the Chiefs and maybe the Patriots. The jury's still out on that one a little bit. But yeah, a bye week is a heck of a drug where we can pretend that the sky isn't falling because it isn't, because the Bills didn't have to play football this week.
And they still somehow dropped drastically. This bye week really ended up screwing them over because at the end of the day, people looked at that. People looked at some of the games this week and were like, "Yeah, these teams may have still lost, but I still have more faith in them against than the Bills right now."
Well, yeah,
Uh,
the NFC
Josh,
is. This is just a repeating how it was when we were kids. The NFC is like kind of competitive and is just gonna send everyone else, like whoever's just feeling it that year, and they get to go up against like a team that might barely get through, or the evil empire too, favored by the refs edition, peer reviewed. I think this show was peer reviewed.
yeah, I will say this. Unfortunately for Buffalo, they only have one more game against the Jets in Miami. So those two free wins are going to
Hey,
not
that's a
stack
four
up the way
six
they
win
need.
team. That might be enough in this AFC.
Uh,
For
I
legal
did you
purposes, this
see
is a bit.
did you see their November schedule yet?
Nah.
It's pretty bad. Chiefs, Dolphins, which is bye week. Bills, Texans, which Thursday night football syndrome, and
It's the
Buffalo has
Texans.
really struggled. Yeah, but they've struggled against good defenses, and the Steelers. Buffalo has a very bad November too. They're going to. I
Buffalo,
don't think this team is going to
Buffalo could
be
go 3
rising
and 1 in that
anymore.
stretch, depending on what you think about the Steelers. I think they're more likely to go 2-2 than they are 1-3.
Yeah, it's just this is really feeling like it's the Patriots division to lose right now. And
Welcome back,
poor Buffalo.
2012.
Also, this defense sucks ass. Someone please get a run defender.
Yeah, no, the defense is bad. I'm still mad that they didn't give us Micah Hyde back. If I'm being completely honest. Um,
This is hard. I don't think this team is good, but they keep on winning games, so I can't say no. That's it. They're so weird. This team should be like legitimately like 1-6 with how against Atlanta. They should have lost against the Rams. They could have lost against Arizona. They should have lost against Seattle, and they could have lost against New Orleans. Two things go the wrong way. This team is 3-4. This team does not feel good. They are the most dirty, unethical team out there.
do we need to clarify our definition of unethical for the viewers at home?
Clarify it for me.
You're the one who's using it.
Oh, by unethical, I mean they keep on finding ways to win games even though they realistically shouldn't. They should be losing. This team has only scored 13 touchdowns offensively this year.
Yeah, but at least they
And
got a
yet,
running one finally.
they lead the league in passing yards per game. This team is a fucking enigma and they're 5-2. They have played fucking terrible, but they're 5-2, and they play in the one of the toughest conferences in football against the Seahawks and Rams, who should fucking kill them, and they're 5-2. This team baffles me, and the fact that they just absolutely depantsed the Falcons on primetime mind boggles me.
Do we need
Like,
to start talking about the San Francisco 49ers Devil Magic? I feel like that's something we kind of forget.
I, Mc, not McVay. Kyle Shanahan's a good coach, but like,
No, Shanahan's a really good coach. Having
I don't think he's that good of a
Saleh,
coach though to get to this.
yeah,
And the worst, and the worst part is, I looked at the rest of their games this season. I mean, outside of a rough like last 3 games, because the last 3 games they have the Colts in Indy, the Bears, and then the Seahawks. Uh, they have Texans, Giants, Rams, Cards, Panthers, Browns, and Titans. If this team isn't like, if this team doesn't have 10 wins by the end of November, then the Devil Magic has worn out.
well, I think they'd only have 9. No, I don't remember when the bye
No,
is. If it's a December bye, yeah. No, I think San Fran might wind up getting the 1 seed. Just based on their schedule and the fact that nobody in the NFC West seems to beat them. The rest of the NFC North is going to devour itself by season's end and leave at least one of the 3 competent teams stripped in the desert and dead for the vultures to pick at. And the West is also going to devour itself. And in that fight,
yeah.
I am unfortunately inclined to take Kyle Shanahan.
I still think I think another team can pull it out, but I'll get to them later. But yeah, this team is dirty. They are injured to shit. They have fucking no one on defense, but they keep on finding ways to win, and I hate it.
Yeah, so do I. Because if they're in the playoffs, it means the Packers have a very bad time. Have we spotlighted a tight end this year? Just at all?
I think someone may have spotlighted Tucker Kraft potentially. Why do you bring this up?
Thought just popped into my head. I think we've spotlighted just about every position. Well, we've spotlighted offense, defense, and special teams. We haven't spotlighted a kick returner.
Granted, kick returns don't happen anymore. Anywho, the Patriots. Drake May is very good. You played the Titans. We don't care. You had a bye week. Congratulations.
I don't think... Have they played either of their games against the Jets or Dolphins yet?
They played one against the Dolphins. They have played none against the Jets.
Yeah, this is going to be a runaway for the Patriots. Their schedule is pretty easy.
They could struggle against the Browns just because I feel like the Browns are just a hard matchup against most of every team.
Yes, I know. I watched it personally live week 3. But there's a non-zero chance that this is the team to walk out with the 1.
Don't discount the Chiefs yet. They are.
I'm not discounting the Chiefs. I'm looking at the remainder of the Patriots' schedule.
It's easy, dude.
Yeah, no, it's real easy.
The only thing that I would say that is like kind of questionable is like, despite everything, I think the stretch between Bucks. Actually, no. Even the stretch between like Falcons all the way to like Ravens, I think they could get like mollywopped by the Bucks. They could potentially lose one against the Falcons. Joe Burrow can just be funny, and then Bills rivalry shit. Ravens could get Lamar back, and then the Giants just
I think the Ravens
do
are
Giants
getting
things.
Lamar back. He was at practice today.
He was limited from what I heard.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm just
don't
saying he'll
think
be
he's
back
get.
by that time, though. That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
no, he'll definitely be back. Burrow won't, but there's too many Joes on that team, anyways. Is this my team? This is my team. Yep. If I'm being honest, I was thinking about putting the Packers higher. I'd probably change them to 6. Just because, and this is something I wasn't really factoring in. The Cardinals, despite being now 2-5, have not played like a 2-5 team. They played the Colts really close. Every single one of their games has been within 5 points this year.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but that also goes in the inverse. They played the Saints pretty close. They played the Titans pretty close. Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
totally get
no,
what you're going for, but
yeah,
it works in reverse too. Just so you
yeah,
know.
no. The Titan. Um, Sidebar: do you think the Cardinals collapse against the Titans was worse than the Giants against the Broncos?
Um,
I think
that's
it is.
hard. I think it is only because it gave Brian Callahan one more day, like one more
No,
week to work.
I don't think it's that. I think even divorced from the fired coach context, um, the Titans were a winless team who had been shut out the prior week and gave us one of the top sound bites that'll remain top at the end of the year in the
I'm gonna
"I'll
keep it a
keep it a
buck.
buck, we're
Where
ass right now." Um, the Broncos were at least perceiving them as kind of good. Oh wait, yeah, I'm like, where are the Broncos? Looking for Denver on this list instead of the team name.
yeah.
And there's my answer. Um, yeah, the Packers. The Packers are an interesting team. I don't know where they are. I think yeah, if I do this list again, I put them a couple spots higher, which is mostly just me really being unfair to Tampa Bay, more so than anything else. The Packers
I
are
will say
capable of getting the win. They're gonna look a lot better, probably if we can get Christian Watson back, and I think he's on week 3 of being back in. He's trying to get in, and that definitely would open a dimension on the offense. I will once again refer to um, potentially my nomination for at least Packers football tweet of the year. We need to install a severance device in Matt LaFleur that every time we go up by a touchdown, he thinks we're behind, so that he stops calling games so cute. Because
um,
LaFleur's play calling has been kind of questionable, and our special teams has been genuinely atrocious. Once again, when I say special teams, I'm generally referring to kicks, whether we are kicking or receiving, not field goals. Because our field goal game has been good since we gave Narvison the boot and we brought in McManus. Like
oh yeah,
I'm shouting out Haversick because genuinely he has won us the game this week. He definitely kept us in last week, but drilling a 61 yarder going into halftime, absolutely insane. Never thought I'd see that personally.
I will
It's
say this real quick because we forgot to shout him out. Also, shout outs to CMC and DeAndre Swift. We forgot to mention you both. This really was the week for running backs.
Yep, and you know what? At least we've got a University of Wisconsin player on there. Um, what was I gonna say?
Something about Haversick.
Yeah, no, Haversick's been really good. Um, I'm very happy we have him, at least for right now. I don't know how much longer he will be with us, but I
Before he passes
really
away.
do not look forward to him being the kicker for the New Jersey football ACL Terror Giants when we play them in a few weeks, assuming that we bring McManus back. Because I think we're gonna cut Haversick, just given that McManus is a much more known quantity.
You
Um,
never know.
Also, the secondary sucks. Can we trade for Tyson Campbell?
Uh, yeah, I was going to get into my thoughts on Green Bay real quick. Um, in all honesty, I think this team is very similar to Chicago. I'm not meaning in terms of like how they play football. I'm meaning in terms of talent and coaching. Both of these teams had very similar wins this week. They both played teams who play other teams very well. They both got very solid wins the week before. Uh, I changed my opinion on the Bengals win. As much as I want to like hate myself, hate other teams, and be like, oh whoa, this, that, and the other. Uh, no, the Packers played a pretty solid game against them.
Yeah,
However,
it was a solid 3 quarters. But I'll let you finish your point. I've got other stuff I can say.
no, I think my issue with Green Bay, um, it mostly comes to this. I get people say Super Bowl contender a ton. This team isn't it, and simply put, it's because with other teams when they're down, they can come back up despite the injuries and despite everything. I think even everything considered with the Packers, I don't think this team's ready. For one, they can't produce turnovers. It is like legitimately Super Bowl caliber defenses have to produce turnovers, and the Packers just don't do that. They're getting sacks, they're getting to the quarterback, they're causing pressures, and they're holding teams to without touchdowns, but they just can't make plays in the secondary, which is funny because I think the quality of quarterbacks they played so far this year has varied between literal Joe Flacco twice, Joe Flacco twice to Jaden Daniels, who was clearly hurt,
I think
Jared
he got
Goff, who's
hurt
just a
halfway through the
mirror.
game.
Yeah, yeah. And then you have a fucking Dak Prescott in that mix, and it's just like, um, I don't know, man. This team confuses me. I definitely think just because of how consistently better they are, I do think they are a better team than Chicago. But the reason why I put them above this week was I think I just got a little bit too much. If, in all honesty, I probably swapped the spots now that I think about it. But hey, I don't fucking care. Sue me. Um, I
All right.
just they're so fucking weird.
Yeah,
I want to say that they're one of the best teams, but they haven't really played like one of the best teams. They played great, not amazing.
I
They played good, not great.
mm, they're like the third or fourth best team in the NFC, and with how weird the NFL is this year, I could see them making a Super Bowl run. I don't. The Packers aren't really playing for turnovers. We need better secondary help, and like if we can force everyone to just take the under, and Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper are just able to hit that next level, with how quickly everyone has been rallying to the ball. If they can play like they did for the first 2 weeks, it does not matter if they're not getting turnovers because they've just strangle-held games until the fourth quarter. The Packers, and knock on wood, obviously, but they hadn't given up a single point in the first quarter until this week. and that was just a field goal. That was it.
Now, granted, I will give the Packers the benefit of the doubt. Jacoby Brissett has been dealing recently. I genuinely think he's a better quarterback than Kyler Murray right now.
You, me,
But
and people who are familiar with the concept of double XP weekend.
yeah, but yeah, Packers just aren't. They're not there yet. I still think there are multiple teams that are better than them. They're right next to Chicago, but they're just a step above personally.
Yeah, and yet they're number one in the NFC. Okay, we got to move on. Um,
Speaking about another team
sorry,
that is potentially fraudulent,
fixed it.
look, man, people will say Vikings got hosed that game. No, they really fucking didn't. Like, if the Vikings have any resemblance of a solid quarterback, they get blown the fuck out. The Eagles get torched. Jalen Hurts can have a good game all he wants. It still doesn't go. It still doesn't take away against the fact that that defense is terrible and this offense is way too inconsistent.
Yeah, so what in the world happened to Saquon? Man,
He got 18 carries and got 44 yards. It's a tough defensive line. I can live with that.
yeah, but it feels
But
like it's
like,
been happening all year? That he just
well,
hasn't really been doing all that much?
Well, think about it this way: a lot of teams had to game plan around Saquon. I think what makes this Eagles offense so good is Saquon Barkley, and whenever you shut him down, it comes down to Hurts having to play football. And granted, Hurts played football this week, but on the weeks that he has also had to play football, the following has happened. Um, did nothing against the Chiefs and still won. Had a good first half against the Rams. Did dick in the second half, still won. Did nothing against the Buccaneers and still won. Had to actually play against the Denver Broncos, lost. Had to actually play against the New York Giants, lost. And then he had to actually play against Minnesota and he won.
Yeah, the Eagles, like, the Packers might be a weird team, but the Eagles are even weirder, man.
They at least have a Super Bowl ring that I can trust them.
Yeah, but for making it, yeah, they looked legit last year, but they've just been back and forth. You could convince me, you could make a case that it just looks like Doug Peterson is coaching this team, and they're kind of winning in spite of what they're doing.
Agreed, 100%. 100%. You want to know something? This fuck ass head coach is getting fired in 3 years once the Eagles go 5-12 in one of the worst divisions in football because Nick Sirianni is terrible. It'll happen. It's a cycle.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. For sure.
Yeah, look, man, Eagles got a breakout game on offense. Congratulations. You have the Giants again next week. You have time to right your wrongs. If you lose to the Giants, I will take you off my fucking list. I will
Yeah.
put the Giants at 14 if you do not beat them.
Yeah, I've given up on trying to make sense of the Eagles. Birds. This team looks real.
I think they're top three. I think Seattle is a very good team. And you want to know how I know that? The defense. How do you turn the ball over 4 times and basically not even have to worry about the other team doing anything against you? That defense is might be one of the best in the league. Like, I think this defense could be top 3, maybe even top 2. Like, and it's not even because they just shut down the run game. You cannot run against them. And like the only running back to have like a significantly good game against them is Christian McCaffrey. But Christian McCaffrey is very good, and most of his yards came through receiving the ball, believe it or not.
Yeah, this is a team that looks real. I would kind of like if they had more than one receiving target, but they've got a good offense. They've got a pretty decent defense.
You forget that they have Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is good. Sam Darnold just doesn't throw to him. He'd rather force feed JSN all the balls in the world until JSN is like, dude, I can't take any more. Please stop. Like, he got targeted 14 times last game, and Sam Darnold threw the ball 41 times. Half the time, he was just throwing to JSN.
Who does he think he is, Joe Flacco?
Yeah, he was force-feeding shit all game.
Yeah.
I think he actually No, he's 5th in targets. Of course, first is JSN, but, like, go figure.
Yeah.
I mean, first is Jamar Chase, fuck. Go figure. Yeah, this team's legit. And also, I just want to say real quick, the Texans are fucking trash. CJ Stroud threw the ball fucking damn near 50 times this game, prolonging this fuck-ass game when I had work in the morning. And I didn't go to bed and only got 6 hours of sleep to work yesterday. So fuck you, CJ Stroud. Fuck your shitty offensive coordinator. I hope this team doesn't win a game for the rest of the year.
Me too, but for different reasons. Yeah, okay, yeah, you got it right. You got it right. Yeah, okay. I'll put my cards on the table. I have them in the same spot as last week. Sure, they were blanking a bad team, but they really did. Even if they lost that game, they returned to form against the Jaguars, and they've looked like the Chiefs of dear God, please help me ever since. Also, this was pretty close, so yeah, if Luke puts him anywhere else, or I put him one down, it's a tie or something.
Yeah.
Oh, surprisingly,
the
no
Chiefs are
ties.
back.
Yeah, like I really should have ranked them after the Jags game, but I got a little reactionary, and this has been an awful league this year. So I am feeling a little vindicated. Getting Rashee Rice back has unfortunately helped. They still don't really have a run game, but with Patrick Mahomes, do you really need one?
I mean, they forced Geno Smith to 67 passing yards.
Good for them.
Yeah, Raiders had 95 total yards. This team stinks.
Yeah, those are almost New York Jets numbers. That's for sure.
That being said, this team is getting nowhere if they still can't get a run game going.
No, they're like this year with how the AFC is. They're pretty much a lock for the AFCG.
Well, yeah, but they're not gonna win the Super Bowl without a running game.
We've said that the Chiefs aren't going to win the Super Bowl because they're short just about everything in these previous years. I'm not discounting them. Like, if we're saying the Chiefs are back, I am assuming that the Super Bowl is quite possibly theirs to lose until they are out. And that's with them sitting at 8th in the playoff hunt right now.
Oh yeah, believe it or not, the Chiefs also held the ball for 42 minutes this game. That's almost 3/4.
I can buy it. Yeah, what was it? The Raiders ran only 30 plays, and it was the second fewest since '99, I think.
Yeah. believe they had 58 penalty yards, which is about 60%, which is about 60% of the yards that they gained. Was about 60% of the yards that got taken away from them. By the way, yeah, that team's not good. The Raiders, I mean.
Yeah, no, the
There
Raiders
was
are genuinely terrible. That team was playing for the division lead in week 2, and we thought the Chiefs were finally dead, and look at where we are now. Bucks.
that was a rough loss, but like
It's a rough
it
loss,
happens.
but with how injured the Buccaneers are, I'm kind of willing to give them the benefit of the doubt this week.
Agreed.
Yeah, like, Baker still kind of looking like an MVP. They just ran into, and this is going to become pretty obvious. One of the two best teams in the NFC, at least according to this group. So,
Yeah. This this all just kind of sucks for It just kind of sucks for the Bucks right now because this team doesn't have anything left. Like they don't have anything going for them right now. Mike Evans is basically donezo for the rest of the year. This team is being held together by the fact that Emeka Mbuka and Baker Mayfield have a legendary connection. Oh yeah, and Tez Johnson might be a name too soon. Who knows? But
yeah, the Bucks offense has looked good, and the defense has to have kept them in that game. Like, based on what I watched from this game on Monday night, it felt it felt a lot less close than the score actually indicated. At the very least, through halftime, it felt like the Lions were up 3 scores when they went into halftime, but I think it's a 2-score game.
I don't remember. Um, I think it was one score throughout most of the game. They got up by two.
Yeah, but it never felt particularly close. It felt like Packers Lions week 1.
I felt like after the Bucks scored, there was a chance. When Jameer Gibbs got that touchdown, though, that kind of
Yeah,
sealed
that
it.
80 yard, that 70 some odd yard run definitely was a bit of a death knell for Tampa.
I think a main reason why we still even have them this high is the fact that they play in the South.
I don't
Like,
think it's that, because I think we're doing this kind of independent of division. We have the 49ers at 10, and I think if we went through and asked the individuals here, who do you expect to win the West? I think you'd get 3 people saying it, so it's not necessarily based on division. I'm not
I
factoring that in. Like, if we were doing playoff projections, sure, I'd have them in the top 4 because they play in the South, but
I guess. Well,
oh, right. We got like 10 minutes to go through the last few teams. We're at
yeah.
48 minutes, FYI. Do we wanna kick it up a notch just a little bit?
I mean, we don't got anything else with Tampa, so we can just.
Yeah. Okay. Rams. Um,
Eh,
they played a good game this week. They played a really good
yeah.
game this week. 35-7. Stafford throwing 5 TDs. Devontae Adams stepping up in the absence of Puka Nakua. Like, this is
Yeah.
just a good, complete team that is not allowed to beat Kyle Shanahan, at least in the regular season.
Ethical football, some may say.
Yes, something of the like.
I
Um,
mean, I don't got much else. They played a really good game.
yeah.
I'm all.
I had the opportunity to wake up at 6:30 to watch the Jags. I decided to go back to bed. Woke up a couple hours later, looked at the score. I'm like, that feels right. Um, that's about what I expected. Maybe a little closer, but after Seattle, I've got a lot less faith in Jacksonville. Um,
Can I take a guess? And I was gonna say, is it Lions Colts? And I was like, yeah, it's Lions
yeah,
Colts.
it's Lions Colts. This is the most consolidated top two I feel like we've ever had.
Uh,
Um,
can I say something? And I think I know the difference between these two teams. The Colts only loss on the year was against a really good Rams team, and that was only by one possession. The Lions, in turn, have lost to two teams, and both of them they had no. It seems like they had no chance of winning. I definitely feel like the Colts are the best team in the NFL right now.
yeah,
By bar none, it is the Colts. Lions are
yeah.
good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. I guess I can just save a little bit of time and reveal
I
this.
think it's so weird seeing all of us like agree. It's weird.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm out of ways to doubt the Colts. I should clarify. I think even if there is only a 5 point difference between these two, I don't think, and this is something that is hard for the rankings to capture with a small enough sample size. I don't think this is a 1A, 1B situation. I don't think anybody here is convinced that it's particularly close between the Colts and Lions. Like, I think if the Super Bowl is these two, we're seeing Jonathan Taylor get hosed out of a Super Bowl MVP right about now.
Yeah, I still think it. I still think they he would end up winning it just because if they're gonna win that game, Jonathan Taylor's gonna have to be running like 5 touchdowns in that Super Bowl.
Possibly. It would be a fun one to watch, that's for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, we don't really have much to say about these good teams just because
Yeah,
Colts good.
yeah, the
Nothing's
Colts are
changed.
really good. They demolished they've strengthened Justin Herbert's argument as potential man because if he only had an offensive line and a running back, and then the Lions just looked good. They kind of we kind of touched on it with Tampa Bay. With the good teams being more solidly defined this week, I thought we'd at least have a little more to say about the top four instead of I don't know what to say. This makes no sense. It's just like, yeah, they're good. The games kind of speak for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, like, what else is there to really say about the Bucks, Rams,
Yeah.
Lions, and Colts? Like, legitimately, Bucks lost against a good team. It happens. Next week, if they lose, then we'll have something to talk about. Like the 1 through 4s are kind of weird to talk about unless we have some like really divisive opinions about who's better. But I think it's very much easy to say that like everyone's properly placed where they are in the top four. I mean, outside of like the Chiefs, I think you could reasonably sit here and say all of these teams deserve that slot.
Yeah, I think top two, like, obviously, it matters less the further down you get because they're not really as interesting. But yeah, honestly, I think any team 1 through 10 could make a run at the Super Bowl this year, in at least some capacity.
Mm, honestly, I think, and you're gonna say coping. I think any team from 1 through 14 has a realistic shot. There are multiple paths I could see this happening.
I'm
The
contesting
Broncos
you on
will
the
be
Broncos, and maybe the Bills.
You really think the Bears can make a run?
I think the NFC is a less open and shut case. That's really it. Like, I think it's gonna be Colts Chiefs AFCG right now, which makes me sad because I'm kind of conceding half of my Super Bowl prediction right now. Because my Super Bowl prediction is at the start of the season when you asked us to
Bengals,
put.
Lions.
No, it was no Bengals Lions was
Bengals
last
top.
year. This year it was Bucks and Bills with Bucks on top.
No, I think it was Bucks Bengals. Oh no, that was Magnum. My bad.
Yeah,
Nah,
no, yeah,
yeah. There's a lot of issue right now with like the. I think the Broncos could definitely do it because their defense is Super Bowl caliber.
yeah. No, they've got
I
a
think
Super Bowl caliber defense. They just have a very weird and inconsistent offense.
no, they have Bo Nix. Like they have Tim Tebow 2.0.
Yeah, but he can actually throw a spiral. Um,
And plus, Bills have Josh Allen. I think any of the teams from 1 through 4 have a shot. I think it goes from like, I think it goes from like 25% to like 5%. Like, it starts at like 25 for like a lot of these teams, and then it just like slowly goes down.
yeah, it's weird. What's weirder is what the Jets could be eliminated in week 9, maybe week 10. I think.
No, because with how
Or
dog shit the AFC is, that won't happen. Jets will be eliminated week 12.
yeah, but they're gonna be the first team eliminated. I don't think they're firing their head coach though.
No, actually, I have a better proposition to make. I think the Saints are the first team eliminated.
I don't think the Saints are the first team eliminated.
Let me explain to you why.
Make it quick.
Uh,
We're about 2 minute drill time. We're at
uh,
57:20.
real quick. Every team in the playoff picture currently has 5 wins.
Oh. Not everyone. Packers have 4. Bears have 4.
Right? Yeah, but like, still,
Yeah.
Saints are 1-6. Like, no, they need they. Those teams are probably gonna win when the Saints go on bye too.
Yeah.
So like they're probably gonna get eliminated during their bye week. In all honesty,
Yeah.
because that team
Is
is
it a
going
late
like
enough bye
one
week?
in
I
ten.
guess so. I don't know. I think they can pull a couple games out. Okay, it's about 2 minute drill time. You go.
Okay, well I want to talk about one team real quick. That team being the fuck ass Bengals. We didn't really talk about them much, but I think this team's winning the AFC North. I think the Steelers are fraudulent as shit, and I think they're being held together by the fact that they may potentially be good. But look, man, Joe Flacco led the Browns like a couple years ago to the playoffs. I think he can do it again with the Bengals. He was throwing to Amari Cooper at the time. Jamar Chase is a way better guy to throw to. I think the Bengals definitely have a shot. Mostly just because I think that the rest of their division is kind of dog shit. And if you're asking the Bengals to like win in like a fight, I think they definitely have enough grittiness to do so. After all, they got the Jets to play still. I think they have the Ravens twice. They still have the Dolphins and Cardinals. They still have the Browns once more. The only thing they have to do is find a way to squeak out wins against teams like the Bears, Steelers, Patriots, and Bills, but like you could reasonably beat one or two of them.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting NFL season. I'm not sure what to make of the NFC. The AFC feels kind of like an open and shut case at this point. I certainly, much like everyone else, didn't pencil the Colts to be a near undisputed number 1. And since we've got an intro, that's all the time we got. See ya.